Let's do this.
Let's do it. Hi, welcome back. Sunday. It's the Prickly Pear Show.
It is.
Ron.
That's me.
Ellie.
That's you.
That is.
Yes.
You're good.
I'm great
You're
at this.
good at this.
Thank you. Some
Thanks.
people may think I'm not that good at this, and I'm a jealous person, but I'm not going to get into this.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. It's from a earlier conversation I was having on Facebook today.
Oh.
Nonetheless, we're not going to get into it.
You know what? Those are not good conversations to have.
They are never good conversations to have, but I try to...
People online don't have good opinions.
You know, it's funny. I try to help
for
these
us.
things. When people are like making a comment or something, I try to put my 2 cents just to kind of introduce a new idea into the realm, right? And then what ends up happening is that...
you get change back?
More than change. More than I can handle. They're whipping pennies at me. Money I can't even use anymore.
You can use it.
Well, if I go to the store and put it in, then yes, but I can't really use it.
You can go to the bank.
I went the other day somewhere and it was like something like $12.32, and I think the girl was like, I gave her $12.30, and she was literally sitting there looking like, you're missing something, and like I was waiting for her to say, no more pennies. I was waiting for it. It never happened.
It's Sunday night. We're live.
Oh, we have a show.
We're actually live.
We are live.
I didn't know if you know. I pressed the button.
I love it.
So thanks for tuning in. It's an interesting show tonight. It's an interesting show every Sunday, but this is no less different, I think. Even a little bit.
Don't.
I don't want to set the bar too high.
Don't make people feel like this is going to be the best show. This is going to be the worst. This is going to be the worst. I promise
you won't be the best show.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
There you go. Because we're both in it. There's no guest.
I clearly under-promised.
Okay.
There's no question about that.
Because I don't want people thinking...
And I feel that we will definitely under-deliver. Well, I'll try my best.
Okay, fine.
I was going to throw you under.
I know you were.
I didn't want to...
That's why I looked at you. That's why I said
I was trying to be nice. Look, what can I tell you? It's exciting to see you again. It's been quite a week. Should we tell the people what we're going to talk about today?
You have to tell them, so this way they know what they're about to tune into. And we're going to mention Ophir one more time since he didn't watch us last week.
Are we getting a shout-out?
Yeah, we're giving him a shout-out since he likes the shout-outs.
All right.
Thank you very much for kind of helping us put this thing together, meaning, let's not go with just horrific news like pedophiles, even though I could talk about pedophiles all day long. Actually, today I had to talk about pedophiles.
Please, that's 3 times in the 30 seconds.
Right, but we're not going to be talking about it. Right,
okay.
Right. So why don't you tell the people what they are going to be watching.
So what we're going to talk about, we've been dropping a little hints throughout the week. It is, National Soft Ice Cream Day. So stay tuned for a little later. I think we might do something with the challenge.
In Israel, it used to be called American ice cream.
American
ice cream. I don't know why it was called American ice cream, but it came in like, the soft
What
serve.
was the Israeli ice cream? I find ice cream in Israel is not really big. It's the popsicles.
Well, that's huge. Did you just say that ice cream in Israel is not that popular?
No. Like, I think people get more excited on the idea in Israel of the popsicle, anything on a stick or on, not the traditional
why? It's
Baskin Robbins style.
Oh yeah. Again, it's American. It's a different style. It's a completely different style.
So it's ice cream day.
Yeah.
So the two.
You
fat
like ice
guys,
cream?
I love ice cream.
What's your favorite?
My favorite.
Like favorite.
Go to. Rainbow sherbet. I know. Yeah, I know.
What?
I know.
What?
I love chocolate.
What is this? What is this rainbow stuff that you speak of?
You're joking. Right?
No, I really have no idea. What is the rainbow?
No.
Okay, so ask me what I like.
I don't really care, but okay, what do you like?
Vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla, but
it's the only thing I go for.
It's so plain.
It's what I love.
No.
Never disappointing.
Rainbow sherbet, it's actually part of it. It's a sorbet type base ice cream. Yeah, I know, it's fancy. It's got raspberry,
Why are you
orange.
surprised I don't know? Like, why are you so surprised?
I don't know.
It's not even ice cream, it's sorbet.
No, it's ice cream.
It's not ice cream, it's sorbet.
It's ice cream. Okay. It's not a gelato or anything like that.
But
I like mixing it, but there's two. I like chocolate and rainbow, but ever since I met my wife, I got turned on to both my wife. Hello.
Yeah, I'm about to say, okay?
Yes, of course, I love her. Gold medal ribbon.
Vanilla.
Get out.
Vanilla, man.
Okay, this is the end of the show.
Yeah, it's vanilla.
I think next time we're going to film live from the ice cream parlor. I should have taken you. Anyway, stick tuned. We're going to do that.
I'm never happy with all the other flavors.
It's also Honeybee Day.
Yes, it is.
It's National Honeybee Day. So
I was befriended today by somebody from the Honeybee world. That was like the weirdest thing ever.
One mention, boom. You're like...
I don't think I even mentioned it. Where would I mention it?
Didn't you give it a little drop?
Nope, nothing. I don't think I did.
It's fate.
But I got a message today. Someone wanted to be befriending me from some sort of religious honey community. I don't know.
Religious honey?
I don't know. It was like Saks
Kosher
or something.
Honey?
Was it not? No, Notch.
Nachen Sachs.
Nachen. I don't know. I don't know.
Kishan
I'm sure other people can fix us. They probably
Anyway,
know what we're talking
whatever
about.
it's called. It's also Book Lovers Day.
That's right.
So if you read books,
Are you a book lover?
I enjoy books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a starter, not a finisher. I must be reading like 6 books right
That's
now.
not what your wife said. Bum, 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 bum. I had to. I'm sorry. You dragged me
good.
there.
I didn't drag you anywhere.
I actually do. I like reading books, but I enjoy articles a lot more. So like I could sit and
You don't have the capacity to read a book?
no, but that's the thing. Like I want to get to this.
fine.
If like they had a shorter version of the same story, that's what I would read.
The Cole's Notes.
Yeah, I just want to know what it's all about. I want the information. I think this is why I like articles.
But reading is the journey, man. That's the journey of learning. And
No.
you find out, and you use your imagination, and
I need
know,
to use my imagination.
except for this hour. This is the hour you should.
I need
not
to
be.
use my imagination.
No, you don't need to
I
use
have
your
a serious
imagination.
imagination.
You got
That's
a
the
serious
problem.
something, all right.
But the thing is, I start reading a book, and then I'm like, I'm being bored, and I'm going to start reading something else.
Pralines
So,
and cream, right, Simona? You like weird flavors.
yeah, it's your whole family's like writing what they like.
Well, at least they're participating.
See, there you go.
your
Sorbet
family-
is not ice cream.
Sorbet it's a sherbet. It's not a
Blah, blah, blah,
sorbet.
blah, blah, sherbet.
Anyway,
Yes.
at least my family writes on the thing.
My family can't write in English, so that's okay.
They can write anything.
No, but
I see your uncle brother. He writes.
oh yeah, he writes.
He's
Not,
cool.
not in English though, but he writes.
No, he writes on the thing.
No. It's with English letters. It's just not in English. Like it's not in readable English. He, for some reason, he's never worked on his spelling, or so the way he thinks it needs to be done. That's what he does. Look, he's from Israel and he's doing it in a different language.
It's
know
all
the props
good.
to him, but,
We appreciate. I'm gonna give him a shout out.
give him Chaim. I love
Chaim,
him,
the
man.
Chaim.
I miss him.
The Chaim.
I mean, he's still with us, but I miss him because he's there.
Yeah.
So, oh, actually, I did want to say something.
You do.
Yeah, my a dear friend, childhood friend, has lost her grandfather today.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Diana
Condolences.
Gold. I know you're not watching, but nonetheless, I just wanted to throw it out there. He was a great grandfather and an amazing man. I remember meeting him many times when I was a kid, and it was just very sad. So I'd like to have not just a call out, but like my condolences to you and your family,
That's right,
and may he go to heaven and watch above you, and whatever other Jewish stuff people say.
I don't know the Jewish people.
Of
say
course
that.
there is. There's a whole thing. Come on, it's like
Go to heaven and watch above you.
no, that's definitely not what Jewish people say. They
don't-
don't say anything like that.
I don't think anybody says that.
Really? No, I made it up myself.
May the person go to heaven and watch above you.
Watch below. Okay, you know what? Let's
Watch
move on.
over you.
Whatever. Let's get on with the show.
Hey, Ron.
Tell us what we're going
Thanks
to be
for
watching.
Oh, what else? Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to talk about a few things. Conspiracy theories seem to be popular and spreading lies or truths, depending on how you want to look at it. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to discuss a topic about Africa and slavery.
Yes.
And slaves in
not
Africa.
Not old news.
No, new news. Not
New
400
news.
years ago news.
New news.
Newsflash, we know
But
about that.
that's the thing. Also, it's not newsflash. It's happening. We know it's happening.
No,
it's just
I mean-
now making it to this side of the world,
Yeah.
and now people are doing something about it. But we're going to get into it.
Right.
I'm not going to.
We're also going to talk about
Give it a
Buck a beer.
Yes, we're going to complain a little bit about Buck a beer.
Yeah, I don't know where the Buck a beer is. I'd like a Buck a beer.
I don't care for beer, and I don't care about
I
spending.
don't
a
care
buck
for
on it.
beer, but if I'm going to buy it, and I could buy it for $1, I'd like to buy it for $1. It's never going to happen.
Okay,
It's
next
a myth. It's a myth. That's
what
that's
else?
a
What
fake.
else? What else do we have on the agenda?
You want to talk about animals, saving animals. I think that's part of our moment of Zen. You talk about.
It's
Listen,
my moment of Zen.
it's definitely.
I
your
found
moment of
out
Zen.
that
I'm
you
not
don't
an
like
animals guy. I'm not a pet person. We have a fish. I hardly feed that thing.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Like the
gets
littlest
fed.
thing, he gets fed.
He's in the basement.
Why would you put your fish in the basement? Put him in like the living room.
Because we made the basement like a little play area.
I have
more
never seen you
wintertime. Wintertime.
So in the summer, bring him upstairs.
It's a big tank. Dude.
Okay,
Schlep it up and down, and the water, and it's.
we're very different when it comes to animals, and
Yeah,
it's clear.
You bring yours to work.
I do, and I love my dog. And
I like your dog. It's a nice dog. He's off camera. Arnie, you're a good boy, but like.
Okay.
I don't bring my kids everywhere with me.
No, but I see them all the time. I never go.
It's 'cause you come to my house so
Get away
much."
from me! Get away from me! Move! Oh, you scared me.
Here
he's,
you are.
he's a fun dog. He knows we're talking about him, so
That's
that's why he's
fine.
here. That's
That's
how
fine.
smart he is. Smarter than your kids. All right, let's move on. Let's get this thing going. All right. So you brought this conspiracy theory. This
Yeah,
is your story, so I'm allowing you to get us started.
It's not really my story,
It's your preference of
but
what
you
to
know,
talk about.
well, it's better than Pedophilia.
I didn't want to talk about pedophilia.
You
I
brought
did,
it up.
I brought it up. I didn't
3
want to talk
times.
about it.
Look, here's the deal.
Oh, wow.
Conspiracy
So
theories. We've heard about these things all our lives. Some of them we don't even realize these stories. You know, for example, more in a pop culture reference, something on our age.
Man on the Moon?
No. Well, okay, the moon landing.
Elvis
was before
Presley?
it. Elvis,
Right.
being dead or alive.
Well, so is
Tupac,
Biggie and
Biggie.
Yeah,
That's what I was
yeah.
going to go with.
Yeah,
Tupac
yeah.
and Biggie.
Yeah, that's definitely my world.
I don't know what I did.
Did you just do
I don't know
West
what I-
Side?
West Side?
Well,
no,
that's,
was it West? West
Show
Side,
everybody
East
that-
Side, Manischewitz. That's the one I know.
show them the North Pole. There you go. That's my favorite one. There you go.
Anyway,
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes. You're drifting off.
You're keeping me off topic here. Let's put the timer on so we don't. We don't
Oh, did you? We have time. Good.
So
10 minutes.
it's on. We're gonna keep this short and sweet. We want to know. I've been asking people, what's your conspiracy theory? Do you believe in them or not?
Mm-hmm.
There is a very popular. I guess he's a conspiracy theorist. He's a radio host. His name is Alex Jones.
Yeah.
He was recently fired.
Was he
off
fired?
Of YouTube.
That's not fired.
Well,
He
he's
took
banned.
off-
Banned.
He's banned.
So
It's
this,
different.
for people who don't know who he is, and
Mm-hmm.
he has this show in the States. It's based in the U.S.
Right.
He is a very outspoken, I would say, nationalist. He's an
Yeah.
outspoken, certainly very proud American. He's
Very,
a Trump,
very much a character.
yeah. It's a
Or a
it's this-
caricature in some ways.
in a ways, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, the things that this guy spews, and I don't want to really give him a lot of the airtime credit.
Uh-huh.
You can find him on your own. You know, he's very much talking about how, you know, the socialist agenda is coming, the communist conspiracy theories that, you know, America is being taken over, and that the goal of the Democrats and the, you know, left leaning politicians are
I'm
to
gonna
take over.
I'm
the
gonna
state.
say something. I'm gonna say something.
Sure.
There is a lot of truth behind certain conspiracies. What I'm gonna say is
Okay.
that, meaning, like, there's a reason why people are talking about it. There's a little bit of truth, but sometimes it's exaggerated.
Right.
So, like, you know, there was some truth, and we'll talk about the man on the moon.
Yeah, the moon,
Right?
the moon landing.
So, people thought that, you know, they're going to be trying something, like they're going to be doing like some sort of experiment. They're going to be filming it. There were talks about it before, and people didn't expect it actually to happen. Elvis Presley, they knew that, like, you know, people were looking at, oh, he wasn't really sick. What really happened to him? Like, there's some reasons behind why people will think that they may have not died.
Or they can't let go. They can't let go of the idea that this person is gone.
No, but they're looking at the story behind the story. So, like, you know, it's sort of like the media giving you one version. Now, I'm not saying everything he says is right.
Right.
Okay, but there's certain things that can be correct. I'm going to bring the word pedophilia again just for the sake of conversation, but, like, he talks a lot about that, about what's happening in Hollywood, what's happening behind closed doors, what's happening with Russia and the
Okay.
money. There's some truth to, you know, to be told.
But those are a little bit different in the sense of he's talking about hot button topic issues
Right.
that are going on right now.
Right.
And he's trying to spin what's in the news behind. So here, my sister
Well-
brings up one,
well-
for example, like who killed JFK. That's a different
Right.
kind of, you know, the fact that, you know, this
But I
idea
don't know
that
if that's
this
a
one
conspiracy,
but
yeah.
there is a conspiracy.
Right, well, I guess,
for
you know what?
sure.
You're right.
Like,
Actually,
absolutely
you're
is.
absolutely right. You're
One
absolutely right.
bullet traveled the way it did through hitting 3 different people, ultimately blew his head off. They talk about the trajectory in which the bullet
I agree.
hit, you know,
I
so there's something
The whole thing
amiss
with Marilyn
there, right?
Monroe and, like, what had happened.
Okay, but the reasons why he was assassinated or
Mm-hmm.
why someone would want, you know, any person assassinated,
Right.
is different. The idea behind the official story is, you know, if we're talking about JFK for a minute, the official story is that he, you know, we see him. He's driving in the car, top
Mm-hmm.
down, and all of a sudden, boom, he gets a bullet to the back of the head.
Right.
But yet, all the video kind of shows it coming as if it's from the front. And possibly from the back. There's a lean forward, there's a lean back, there's a holding his throat business.
Where do you see
parts
Oliver
of-
Stone in that?
Oliver Stone,
Right?
in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is one of the biggest conspiracy theorists, propagandists, whatever, that propagates these things and promotes these things.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it makes interesting film.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for discussion. I don't think there's something wrong with saying, hey, let's examine this situation,
Right.
i.e. the president assassinated. You know, it's 50 years, and they still can't really figure out what exactly happened to the guy.
why
But
are-
there's a story, right?
Okay.
That just goes, and that's the truth. So when people start bringing up, like Alex Jones starts bringing up this idea of, the anti-Trump campaign, they're out there to get him, and they're looking to take him down.
Some of it's happening.
Listen,
Some of it's happening.
Okay.
You can't run away from it. Some of it is happening. That's why, and there's a saying, right? Where there's smoke, there might be fire.
right? But sometimes it's
Sometimes
just smoke.
it's not. I
Sometimes
agree.
it's just a guy with a match going.
I agree with the sometimes. The
Right.
9/11 conspiracy, right?
That's a
What
huge
actually
one.
happened, right?
Right.
With the Pentagon, right? Like where was the plane?
Yeah, there's
You
no
know,
plane.
How much? So that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like if you find something small,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you go, well, if they're lying about this, they must be lying about that.
I don't know. See, with 9/11, for instance, I remember this is a fun topic.
There's a movie coming out that's Fahrenheit 11/9 in
Michael
September.
Moore, right?
Michael Moore. Well, he did the
Yeah.
Fahrenheit 9/11, but
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing that, even
Yeah,
though I don't like
that's
his
different.
politics.
But the thing about, like, for example, with 9/11, just not that I want to promote, but just, thinking, like, if you recall, there were, some extremely tragic images that were caught live.
Correct. The jumping off.
Right.
Mhm.
And if you notice, in the documents since then,
Mhm.
that document 9/11, for
Yeah.
instance, you don't see the people in the air. They've been,
I don't remember that.
they've been edited.
Okay.
I've seen that with my eyes.
So they took it off and said that didn't happen.
Not that it didn't happen, but they just listen. People, I don't want to, depending on who's viewing, I want to keep this a little sensitive.
Okay.
But
Is this your conspiracy theory?
no,
or-
no,
I mean,
no,
okay.
not at all. You brought up 9/11 conspiracy.
Right.
Listen, 9/11 conspiracy theories. I've heard a bunch of them. I heard that the crazy and anti-Semitic one that the Jews did it.
Oh yeah.
Right? No Jews died.
Giuliani. That's what I
Right.
heard at one point.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is- Of course, he's the mayor.
Or that it was the president of the United States ordered the
The hit.
if you will, on
Yeah,
the buildings.
yeah.
And that no planes were actually involved. Or that, okay, some planes were involved, but that's not really what did it and this and that. And then, I remember thinking that. And I remember 9/11. I remember where I was. I was at university. I actually woke up that morning. I was getting ready to go to school. And my buddy who I carpool with, he says, dude, you got to turn on the TV. And I turn it on. And I turn it on just in time. And I see this, boom. And I realized what I was watching very quickly. And I understood this is some kind of terrorism or something, and it was freaky. And we went to school, and everyone was on edge. And then I remember somebody yelled, "Oh, white powder!" And then we were about to leave. It was very uncomfortable, very tense day.
Okay.
Naturally speaking,
Right.
understandably so. In the days and weeks that followed, when the buildings came down, they talked about the way that the buildings fell.
Yeah, they were
That
talking about
essentially,
TNT. They were talking
essentially
about
that it imploded on
Right,
itself.
right.
Right. It just boom.
Right.
Straight down, which is true.
Right.
To my understanding.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
So then, you start to think a little bit about these theories that come out there and say, well, wouldn't it stand to reason that if it was in fact a pure and natural explosion and that the building would have fallen sideways or in,
I'm not an engineer.
I'm not an engineer either,
I don't know,
right?
so, yeah.
So, but then I remember watching documentaries and reading articles, not books, articles, on things like that on 9/11, and they talked about how, that it seems highly improbable that the burning fuel combined with whatever chemicals that may or may not have been in the building, building materials, etc., that it would have melted the steel to such a point, to such a temperature that the whole building would have.
Okay, we're going deep into
this specific one. But
one.
the idea behind conspiracy theories is there is an element that makes you think.
There is no question. Otherwise,
Right.
they wouldn't be making money off of us. But that's the idea, because the news that's delivering the news to us is not
that's-
real news.
Okay, so but
and that's really why people are becoming
so
those
is
people.
the news a conspiracy theory?
Yes,
Is it really?
no question. Oh, absolutely. They're never giving you the full story. Are you telling me that when they do a documentary on you,
Right.
they're going to get the full story of
On
Eli
me?
Moran? There is no way.
Depends who does it.
It depends who does it. Who really would do a really good job to know you from little
Furman.
Fisher? No, but that's the story that they give you is not the real story.
Listen,
and that's the bottom line.
everything has an edit. I agree, right? But there's a purposeful point of an edit. You want to get to the point. You want to speed up something.
We will
that's on.
never know the real truth, and that's the bottom line. There is no, because I don't think that we're capable on getting the real truth. It's always somebody's biased view. It's always relating to what is the message, the story that we want to put out there. It's never really like, and it's funny, as someone from Israel and seeing the news from abroad about Israel, about this place that I know, then that's exactly how I started to not believe a lot of the horse manure that I see online.
Okay.
And in the news media.
But when you
but I still watch it. I still watch CNN, still watch Fox,
Okay.
still watch Al Jazeera.
So you still watch it?
I still watch it because I'm still getting information, and I think that I'm smart enough to be able to play with the story.
So we teach in school. We teach media literacy,
Right.
And we talk about bias, and we talk about information vetting, and we talk about sourcing information,
Right.
and asking questions and really deep thinking questions about what are you reading and what
Right.
is it saying, and look at the image, look at the setup. Does it sort of go together, right? Like the way you sometimes will see how an article is put out. There's a picture and there's a headline, and sometimes the two never have anything to do with one another.
Would you say that?
But that's not necessarily conspiracy theory.
Okay,
that's
well,
media bias.
Okay, so I think they work together.
I don't know.
I think they work together. I think because of the message. Oh, they want you to know this. They want you to think this.
They want you to think Tupac is still alive, so you can buy his music.
Absolutely. There's people who are thinking this. There's no question. There's people making money off of Tupac today based on telling these stories. There are movies about Elvis Presley until today that he's somewhere. There are movies about Adolf Hitler in Argentina hanging out and having a cocktail.
He'd be like 100 at this point.
Well, now I don't know. It has to be dead.
Having.
But the point is, there's still stuff out there. But hold on.
I just want to know. We're getting a shout out.
Well, they like my.
No, I want to welcome Dory Bolshov. Fake news UFOs are real. You think so, Dory? Have you ever seen one? I thought I saw something once in the sky.
Yeah, you thought you saw something.
I don't know what I saw.
At night sometimes the light. And I thought I saw something.
No. It was like at dusk. I thought it was a weird object flying. But who knows? Maybe it's a drone. I don't know. Maybe it was a drone before.
Especially today. Yeah. Look,
not today. This was like years ago.
I believe that there, now that we're getting about aliens, but the information, how much information really have, I don't know what to believe these days. And honestly, everything that I read, I have to question myself, how much of this am I going to, really believe or know that it's kind of a story and they're trying to engage me? I'll give you a quick one. Have you ever seen the movie Goodfellas? Please tell me you have.
Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic, great movie. Probably one of my top 10. Love that movie. And then I watched a documentary on the main character. I watched what? Oh,
do I amuse you?
That was supposed to be really smack you. So there was that was the worst Joe Pesci impression.
I wasn't a
I've ever
Pesci.
seen.
That was just dropping a line.
You just said it for the sake of saying. Got it. Okay.
Pesci is hard to do.
Okay.
What do you mean?
That's a better one. Okay, so they did a documentary on the whole story about the gambling with the Boston College. And the way they made that gangster look in Goodfellas was like gang. But in reality, it was literally, I know people in my neighborhood who were doing the exact same thing. Like, it just didn't feel like this was a real
the
gangster.
point-shaving guy or whatever?
The main character, the one that
Pacino?
the one that Ray Liotta
Ray Liotta's guy?
Yeah. He died not long ago, but they did a documentary about the Boston College making the bets. Like, it was a real story of back in the day and how they were trying to cut the numbers or whatever it was called. Anyways, sometimes when they give you the documentary and they show you the proof, it's never like the movies. But to me, sometimes the news is more like a movie than it is the real story.
Well,
and that's really something that gets to me.
And maybe that's a different topic for a different day.
Right.
But news itself, evening news, whether it's Trump's fake news or Fox fake news or whatever fake news, that's a program. That's a paid.
But we're not looking at it as a program. That's the thing. We're looking at it as wow, we're getting the information right now. I remember when CNN came out, when they were big during the Gulf War. That's I think when they really picked up.
That's when they picked up.
Right.
Show of war.
I was
get eyes on that.
It was wow, this is amazing. I'm watching it live.
It was real time war.
Right, but people still have no idea what the hell happened during the Gulf War. It's just the information they were providing. Okay. Anyways, I think we kind of got this. Do I believe in certain conspiracy theories and certain ones I don't?
I think there are some theories out there that are worth exploring.
Yes.
At least components to them. At least worthy of asking some questions.
Okay, here I have I actually have a question.
Yeah. Oh.
So this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and you kind of have an opening for me. The whole Hillary Clinton thing. where there's
Hillary Clinton thing.
Yeah, so whenever there's somebody, well, I'll explain. Whenever there's somebody that has some information about her and her foundation or whatnot, they somewhat disappear and they're killed and nobody knows. And if anybody has any information about where the money's being like, you never heard about this thing? So I'm the only one that knows. I'm the only one that knows about this whole Hillary Clinton thing. That
you're trying to say that anytime anyone brings up
information,
the questionable information
about someone that's
dealings.
alive, someone that's alive, they disappear. Like Putin, remember he used to have somebody who ran against him. Yeah, was murdered. Nobody's talking about it.
Are you suggesting that Hillary Clinton?
I'm not suggesting. I'm saying that it's almost 100%. I'm saying it here. Oh yeah, there's no question. The question is,
what if she's watching this thing somehow?
I have no information. So what do you want from me? I have no idea where the money is. I have no idea where anything is. But do I believe it? Yes, I definitely think that.
This is Ron Furman.
Ron Furman. I'll give you my phone number too. It's listed on my Facebook page. All right, let's move on to something.
Let's talk about something equally exciting.
Slaves in Africa.
African slaves. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. You didn't want to talk about it?
I definitely didn't want to talk about it, but I didn't know about it.
Really? You didn't know about it?
I wasn't aware. I'm maybe not as, how we say,
informed?
No, I think I'm informed.
Informed, okay.
But
so you would have been informed about this and the Hillary Clinton thing, right, ladies and gentlemen? That's right.
Your 10 minutes starts now.
Oh, beautiful. Slaves in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen.
Give us a little bit of background. Why are we going to be discussing
We're going to be discussing it because I've been watching these people, in Africa that are being brutally abused, beaten, locked together on their heads. Islamic fundamentalists selling slaves,
right?
To other Arab sheiks or whatever it may be.
Right. There's definitely
but there's like a serious slave trade happening today.
Yeah, and we're not talking about
especially in northern Africa.
But you're not talking about, let's say, just women in trafficking or children trafficking. We're not talking about that thing, right?
No. I'm talking about slaves, especially men,
male slaves,
to do the work for all these sheiks or whoever they may be, or
like
ISIS people.
labor camps.
That's correct. Like literally coming into their villages, taking these people and force them to do labor. And if they don't want, they get hit, they get shot, they get killed, like whatever it may be. And it's been like out there for a very long time now. The good thing is about the media or the internet or whatnot is you're able to see the footage. You're able to see pictures. And I've been watching this now for about 2 years. And I'm like, is nobody talking about this? Like, we're talking about slaves. Like, and Americans or even African Americans should be talking about it because it's somewhat their people, right? They're connected to it. There needs to be something more. No, look, if something happens in Israel, I'm connected to those people, right? We're Jews. If something happens, a Jewish person happens.
I want to ask a legitimate question. I don't want to come across as insensitive.
But I care.
And I'm gonna just a minute. I'm gonna give a super shout out to my uncle Hanan Shalom. That's a live Israeli right there. That's the time. That's crazy. It's 4:00 in the morning.
I'm glad we're talking about slavery.
Listen,
yet,
but hold on. No,
okay.
I apologize.
Shout out.
I got excited.
All right.
But listen, the idea that you're saying there's no connection. You feel something going on in Israel as an Israeli, as a Jew. You feel this connection. You're surprised that. In the States, you specifically mentioned African Americans.
Well, I care.
No, I'm not saying that people don't care.
No, but meaning,
I am saying that people don't care.
I'm saying if I care.
And I'm wondering
how the African community is not out there and outraged.
I want to ask you something. I want to put an idea out there. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good idea or a bad idea. It's not one that I'm holding, but it's a point of discussion.
Yeah.
Racism.
Right.
Do you think it's a racist reason? In other words,
yeah, of course,
and it's a combination of not just racism, but also what we call NIMBYism. Not in my backyard, NIMBY. Like, in other words, it's not happening here, so I don't really care. If it's over there, I don't know, so I don't care about.
The answer is yes to both.
Right?
The answer is yes to both.
Okay, so why are you surprised by that?
Why am I surprised? Because we need to do everything that we can to stop it.
I agree.
We're calling Trump a racist all the time, whether you agree, disagree, it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. But like, real racism is happening out there where we see it. We see footage of people.
Yeah, but if you
being
want
hurt.
someone like the States to step up through their leadership, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Donald Trump.
Oh, please.
Is the
why? Why? Why not?
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
You think he
Why
cares
not?
about other people
Yes, I do.
that aren't named Trump?
Oh,
and I'm not
stop.
even going to go. I'll just leave it at that.
Stop. He's
You
the president.
really think?
Stop it. Stop it. You're going now. Look, and again, I feel ill that I have to defend Donald Trump here.
But
all right, no. I
you-
feel ill because of so much of the hatred. Because
It's not a hatred.
He's at the end of the day, he has a responsibility
No.
as the president of the
He
United
has a
States.
lot of responsibility that he's not meeting.
You are you're
He is
bringing
not
down
meeting.
To, you're-
No. He is not meeting his
now,
responsibilities.
What
period.
you're doing right now is you're going against his character as opposed to talking about his responsibility
His
as the
character,
president of the United States.
Exactly.
And
But the
leader of
problem
the free
is,
world.
if I may, the problem is that the gentleman, and I use that term super loosely, okay, is not adhering to the responsibilities of the office. He's not acting in accordance to the expectations of what it means to be the president of the United
Really?
States of America.
I don't want to go that direction.
On top
I'd love
of which,
to have a show about
in
this.
this show, in this context, I'm saying. So let's bring it back.
Okay.
Let's bring it back to the context of
Okay.
slaves in Africa.
Yeah.
And you're surprised that America. Listen.
Yes.
Before him, Obama.
Yeah.
And Obama hasn't done anything either. So
Nothing.
let's be super clear about that, right?
Right.
I'm not suggesting that
Racism.
Obama was better, right? But I'm simply saying you've brought up the topic.
Yeah.
We're discussing it now, and at the end of the day, here's what's happening. You're expecting America under its current leadership to do something about it.
They're doing stuff around the world regularly. What
They're
do you mean?
not.
Stuff you don't know about. You're sitting here. Stop reading his tweets. All right.
That's all he does.
I wish. Yeah, no. That's all you care about.
That's all I care about. That's all the guy does.
No, that's not all the guy does. The tweets are ridiculous. I'm going to sit here and completely agree with you on that.
Right.
Someone in his leadership needs to slap him across the face and
Okay.
take his phone away from him.
Right.
But the bottom line
But
is,
that's the guy you want and you rely on to then go out and take care of the human
because
rights
it's not
issues
about him.
and
It's-
to lay down the law.
I'm sorry to
because
say,
it doesn't come.
it's not about the person.
Hey, let me ask you
The
something.
president
It's
of-
when I'll give you an
There's an
example.
administration. There are certain things that we're doing around the world. You know, America is again controlling the free world. They're working with other allies. Maybe they don't have to go there, but they'll tell African countries, "Hey, take care of this." They'll bring NATO.
Look, there
to
is
try and
clearly
take care
a
of things.
bureaucracy in place, and there is a system that's in place,
Okay.
and that I'm not blind to that. I'm not, I get that, okay. But he's come in, and he's just, he's pulled the tablecloth out of the restaurant. Except he's not
People
a magician.
wanted it.
Yeah,
People
no, but
wanted
the
it.
problem is he's not a magician. He's never done it before. All the plates and the cups and everything have been broken all over the floor.
Yeah.
and he says, "Hey, that's your problem."
So was our
Too bad.
community
That's your
organizer
problem.
president. So was our community organizer.
I'm
who's
not
never
saying
done
he
this
was
before.
better. I'm not
No,
saying
no,
he's
no,
better, but it's under.
Meaning, look, the point.
It's under his watch now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying.
And you're expecting him to do something?
Yes,
about it?
yes.
In a seriously straight face.
Absolutely. Look at me. I'm
I
expecting
can't
him
believe it.
to do something.
You're
Not
insane.
just him. It is administration.
Then I'll go on camera and say that you
I disagree.
You will
You
not
don't-
have expectations.
You have
met.
no idea. By the way, it's not about.
I like how
this-
I have no idea.
I think you're giving him too much power.
It's not about
There's
power.
administration behind him. There's moral things that the United States is supposed to be doing around the world. They are doing it. This is one more thing that, in my opinion, they should be doing.
Look,
And
they changed.
I think you're making it very personal about him, and this
not
is
personal. I don't
I'd
really
love
care
to
about
have
the guy.
a Trump conversation, and
All
I'm
right.
not going to take any side because I'm on nobody's
There's
side.
no side.
I'll
It's
just
a
bring
re-
in information. And I
I'm
hate when
just
people-
saying you have a track record of what many consider to be a very racist individual in power.
narcissistic.
Unquestionably
I don't say
narcissistic.
racist.
But you don't. But a lot of people do.
Yeah, but just because
I'm
a
not
lot,
saying he
a
is.
lot of people think you have hair, it doesn't really matter. The truth is you
Over
don't.
here,
Bottom
over here,
line,
over here,
yeah,
over
you
here.
don't.
Over here.
No,
but
no,
that's
no.
what I'm going to say. You're expecting someone
Yeah.
who acts in his own self-interest constantly, has his entire life, as do many people do, let's be honest.
Right.
But let's make no secret of it. He's a very self-centered individual.
Right, correct.
He has to put his name on everything.
Fine.
He is not. He is not the moral compass for which I would pin my hopes to ending
Nobody
migrant
is.
slaves in Africa slave trade. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't put it on him.
I see your point on
That's
this, that he wouldn't be the proponent, he wouldn't be that person.
But that's your expectation.
But I'm not looking at Trump as just Trump. I'm looking at America. I'm looking at I'm looking at American society. I'm looking at I remember when we started before and we said about African Americans not stepping up and saying,
Right.
"Look what's happening in Africa." Like the same way if I see a Jewish person in France who is suffering from anti-Semitism, I would go out and say something. If I saw Jews as slaves, I would say something. So I don't understand how even like the African American community, or any community for that matter, is not standing up and saying, hey, what is going on here? How are we allowing this? And also to say, these people are doing it. These fanatics are doing it. We need to stop them from making this happen.
Listen, I'm not. Let's make it super
You
clear.
made it about Trump. This is not.
I didn't make it about Trump.
Yeah.
You brought up.
Audience, please.
You brought up.
Good thing we're recording this. 'Cause
Yeah.
If I had to
Come
say
back
that-
and watch it.
Oh.
You brought up.
Yeah.
The fact that you expect.
Yeah.
You asked the question,
Yeah.
why doesn't the United States, why doesn't
Correct.
the president do something
Correct.
about it? And
Yeah.
I'm saying this is not the president to do
I
anything
see.
about
So
it.
who is?
I don't know. It's
Who is?
definitely not him.
How about our Canadian?
should be
How
him.
about our Canadian prime
We'll
minister?
talk about him in a minute.
We're talking about him in a minute, and that.
And
we can
that's a
actually-
good- you know what?
Good segue. Let's move on. Hey, we're only
Move
over a
on.
minute.
You got 48 seconds.
Beautiful.
And just offer. I didn't
Ophir.
ignore.
Stop calling him Ofer. It's Ophir.
It's gonna be what I
I.
say. It's Jeff. How about that? It says Jeff. Why don't we call him Jeff?
That's actually his name too.
So then-
that's fine. But Ofer is not his name. All right, go ahead. Ophir. Yes.
Ophir.
There you go.
My
Call him by the
deepest
right name.
apologies. If I offended you, I'm sorry.
And your sister Semanyona, right? Exactly. Let's go. Okay, give it to them.
You asked why do I ignore the fact that America voted for him? I don't ignore any facts about Donald Trump. It's not about making him
By the way,
great.
that
or
doesn't
not
mean
great.
Ophir,
And just because they
that
voted,
doesn't mean much.
and
That doesn't mean much because right now you have the Labour
technically
Party in
speaking,
England.
Yeah, because technically speaking,
Yeah,
the
that-
country actually didn't vote for him. He lost the popular vote. He won the college. It's a different story.
People voted for him. He won. That's not in conversation.
Right.
We
That's
need
not
to,
what we're talking
We need
about.
to hold the people accountable.
Agreed.
The same thing what I was going to say about like the UK, where they have the Labour Party. Yes, I know we're done. I know we're done. But people voted him in also.
about
James
Corbyn.
Corbyn. Correct.
Yeah.
But that's
No,
we'll
that's a
talk about
different-
that
That's
next
a different
week.
thing. That's a different
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so we mentioned our right honorable prime minister.
Right.
And
But tell him why we're going to be doing this.
Right. So
Do you know the person's name who asked me the question?
I don't.
His name
I
is
apologize.
Zach. So
Okay.
we had an, during the week
It
we
came
asked,
up.
It came up.
Yeah.
Certain people asked questions about how come we haven't discussed anything relating Saudi Arabia and the confrontation between Saudi Arabia and Canada.
And not the soccer match.
Not the soccer match. I don't think they even play each other.
I think we did.
Really, when? At some point, I'm sure, but it's not like a big match.
And we probably lost.
We probably did because Saudi Arabia is a pretty good team.
We suck.
Yes, we do. Do you remember when Pele came around? He was supposed to get our team going. Do you remember? Do you even know who Pele is? Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, making sure. Anyways, the Saudi Arabia thing and versus Canada, there's a big dispute because apparently Canada called out Saudi Arabia on their.
Apparently, we did.
We did. Well, we called
Which is the right thing to do.
100% right. There is no question that it's right.
Good. So we're going to be. in agreement on that.
Let's start with this.
Yeah.
There is no question
Yeah.
for any country, including Israel, every country to call out Saudi Arabia.
On human rights.
On human rights
Yeah,
violations.
on human rights
Actually,
violations.
I think every country that is, it's funny because when you go to the Human Rights Council, you're going to be hearing things that are, Israel, but you're not going to hear all these other countries that are
Right.
clearly don't have any rights for their own people.
Can
Forget
someone
the
Google
situation.
just I want to say that I think Saudi Arabia sits on the Human Rights Commission
Oh.
or recently sat.
They sat, they
I think-
sit, there's
Someone-
Iran is
someone
there.
wants to do the Googling
Oh, it was...
or the binging. Nobody bings it.
what?
Nobody bings
Who
it.
Bings? Bings was a failed
Should
thing.
Bing.
Google
Yahoo it.
No. Woo! Yahoo. So
Anyway,
back
so-
to that part, I'm completely for it. However,
Right. But however, what's your problem with our
you
premise?
need to know when to say what, which is a problem that both you and I have. But we're not diplomats. That's why we have the Prickly Bear Show.
We should invite Justin here.
No, but that's the reality. I'll give you an example,
Yeah,
and it's
please.
something that I feel very, very good about, or I very much support. The Armenian genocide that happened. What?
Armenian.
Armenian.
All fair. All fair.
Well, I don't know if that's really the same thing, but because it's called Armenia, right?
It's called Armenia, but okay.
All right, so Armenia, I'm going to call them that, and there was a genocide. The Turks basically murdered millions of of Armenians or Armenians, whatever you want to call them, and the world has been silent about it because they're still doing business with Turkey
For like 100 years.
more than that. They're doing a they're yeah.
It's been 100 years.
The world is still doing business. Now the reality is
Business comes first, no?
but that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. Like even Israel cannot go out and say something against Turkey officially, even though it's clear. It's as clear as day.
But that's different.
But
Bring this back to
But
Saudi Arabia and
Yeah,
Canada.
so I'll bring it to Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. Saudi Arabia right now has a prince that is somewhat playing the role of how can I say this?
He's trying to be the leader.
It's not about being the leader. He's trying to...
Fluff his feathers. He's like a peacock, trying to show he's in charge.
No, all of them do. That's
Yeah.
kind of like, unfortunately, it's an Arab mentality to do that. It's about respect. It's nothing racist. It's just something. It's about showing off. No. Like sultans, you don't have to say anything. There's certain things about certain cultures and it's completely understood.
No,
there is something about it, kind of showing off.
Okay, but
wait.
he's coming up.
He's trying to be sort of in the middle. He's trying to be someone like right now. He's like, like we should make peace with certain people. Mm-hmm. Let's give these people a chance. He's pro-education.
So
right
like
now, they're allowing women to drive.
Right, so he's like a faux
he's
moderate.
He's somewhat of a I can't say moderate
a fake moderate.
Okay, he's a fake moderate. In his world, he's a moderate.
He's a self-interested moderate.
Right. And
where it serves him well.
And the thing is, you can't go into that society and try and convince him right away to change his ways. He needs to have that power. And Saudi Arabia basically showed their strength against Canada. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, and Zach, thank you very much for bringing this up. I am completely supporting. But I want to hear more than that. Iran. I want to hear Syria. I want to hear Lebanon. I want to hear Egypt. Well,
you wanted to piss off the entire Middle East.
Well, if you're already going to go out there and say you are doing something horrible, Pakistan, you're doing something horrible, call them all out.
You're a human rights violator. You're a human rights violator.
Absolutely.
Oprah style.
We can.
You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah, but that is the reality, and the problem is,
never gonna
he
happen.
He picked on the one in some ways that's trying to be, and again, like I say it so loosely, trying to be a moderate, and is trying to show his power. And what Canada did was bring down the wrong guy. Now, Saudi Arabia is, there are human rights violations. I could ridiculous, a whole show, yeah, weeks upon weeks. But at the same time, I think that he bit too much.
Bit off too much.
Bit off too much.
That he could chew more than he could chew.
And he didn't expect it to go that way. And the good thing is he didn't back down. But once you're the prime minister, you kind of have to know how to play the game.
So
and
you're
I don't
saying
think
he
he played
picked
the game.
on the wrong country?
Not necessarily the wrong country, the wrong first country. Meaning, like, what
difference would it have made if they were picked third?
I'll explain it. When we went into Iraq, right?
Yeah.
When the Americans went into Iraq, they picked on it because they knew they would be easy. They'll be able to destroy them. They didn't go against Iran. They went against the smallest of them all. So they knew, okay, the Iranians are not going to get involved.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a major reason. Major reason they went after them. I was doing a lot of documentation during that time.
George Bush strategized about that?
He didn't. See, you're giving him too much credit too, right? He didn't. The people did. I know. I definitely. I know that George, wanted to kill Saddam or capture him because of what happened to Gulf War with his dad.
Okay.
I'm not going to take that away.
Okay. So, but you're saying that he should have picked. You're saying Trudeau should have picked.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Someone else first. Yeah. Someone who, okay, great,
so
we're not going to have
relations. By the same token, isn't it good that he chose Saudi Arabia? He went after a big target. He went big or he went home.
Maybe.
Right.
How's it playing out?
I don't know. How is it playing out?
Not well.
Canadians are
not
welcome in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabians are.
I don't know if that's really the big problem.
Well, they're not. They're pulling people out now.
They're pulling diplomats out. They're pulling
has the business stopped?
Yeah, too.
Has the oil stopped flowing? I don't think so.
No, but now, there's probably some sort of look, in my conspiracy theory, I think there's something happening behind closed doors, because I know that, Trump and the prince are kind of having a relationship, and, I think he's trying to also weaken Trudeau, and he knows he's not popular.
Listen, but don't you think it's silly, on the other hand, that of all the other countries that you're going to sort of, quote, go to war with,
he didn't. I don't think he expected it.
No, but let's flip it on the other side. Yeah. Look at our reputation in the world.
Yeah.
And I saw John Oliver last week tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a comedy program, but it still deals with local news, big news.
I'm waiting to hear what you're about to say.
He said, "Look who decided to go to." He's like, Saudi Arabia has gone off on a country of all countries, has gone to war with Canada.
He didn't. Go with Canada. Well, he went against the Trudeau government.
No, hang on.
And it represents
Trudeau government.
Yeah.
As we've already stated, rightly pointed out the huge flaw, and I'm being generous when I say it that way, okay, in their policy as far as human rights are concerned and their record. Mm-hmm. He said, this is not good enough. I'm paraphrasing, right? This Canada expects more.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia's reaction just took it off to turned it up to 11.
100%.
Everybody out. No more visas. No more this.
Yeah.
If you're there, you better get home. You've got 24 hours to get out. The last
an
days-
overreaction from an Arab country,
right?
What?
Right. So, but doesn't
What?
it? But so I'm getting. So put it on the flip side here.
Yeah.
I can't believe I think I'm defending Trudeau.
Well, yeah, you're defending our country. Of course, it doesn't matter that we're defending.
No, the
Trudeau.
country is cool. I totally defend the country. I'm just
No, but he represents. Look, but
he represents. It
but
was his.
clearly none of us are going to go.
Look,
you shouldn't have said it because they're actually good when it comes to human rights.
Right.
We know exactly where they stand. Again, I just
Right.
think that he picked on the wrong one.
Maybe.
That's just my
I don't know.
opinions
I
on
think
it.
you gotta pick
so,
somewhere. You
Zach,
gotta
I
go
hope, even though he's not watching, even though I told him to watch.
Really?
Zach, if you are watching,
Zach.
please.
What the hell, man?
Well, I think he probably thought that it was going to be the first story. So he probably logged in the first minute and saw, oh, they're not talking about me, so let's move on. But anyways, the point is, I do believe that what he did was right, but you have to be smart. You have to be smart.
2 minutes left in this, so that's cool. So let's
No, we're kind of
move on.
done. Like
Let's
I think we
push
kind of
it.
hit this one over the head.
Let's talk about something critical here. Okay?
Something critical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
What's critical?
buck a beer.
Bucka beer is the critical. That was really good.
Right.
That was really good. Bucka beer.
Yeah. So for
you want to
anyone,
bring that up?
Yeah. So for anyone who's unaware, I guess he's a right honorable premier,
Yep. Whether you
Mr.
voted for him or not,
Douglas Ford. Is he Douglas? I don't know if he's Douglas.
I don't really care.
Yeah, Doug Ford decided as a campaign promise, by the way, we're gonna have buck a beer legislation.
Right.
We're gonna mandate that Ontario brewers and retailers sell beer for $1, literally $1.
Yeah.
Plus taxes. A lot of craft brewers, in particular, microbreweries, these very niche guys, and some of the big players said that is fiscally impossible.
Okay.
It is irresponsible. They would bankrupt these companies. Production costs, when you think about materials, raw materials, considering that Canada is now also engaged in a trade war with President Tweetsky and
Tweetsky, that's
yeah.
very
You
nice.
like that?
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's how you
Okay.
see him. That's probably how you get your news, from his tweets.
Well, that's how anyone gets his news, from his tweets. Because if he doesn't tweet about it, it never happened. Like on Facebook, if it's not on Facebook, it's not.
I know. Did you see what I did in the bathroom before I came here? All right, let's go. Let's continue.
So as Simone was right there, why not buck a daycare, buck a diaper?
I wrote that. I wrote that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I can't say no to that. But the reality is, here is the law that actually mandates right now, as it is. There's a minimum a floor price for beer.
Okay.
That has to be $1.25.
Okay.
I assume for a can.
By the way, I have no idea how much beer actually costs.
So
what is the average? I don't
drink a lot of it, but let's say I think an
no idea.
average 6-pack, or if you get a little, or a 2-4 A.
Yeah.
It's usually around $35 for a case.
Wow.
$35. Someone.
Okay.
Someone fact check me there.
Okay.
Depending on also what kind of beer you're buying, right? If it's an import, it's going to obviously cost more. If it's a
Wait,
domestic beer,
so the Bucka beer is only for local? Like if I had a Heineken, then it was also
I think so.
So every beer is
fine
$1.
print. No, in the fine print.
Yeah.
I think that the reality was that there should be at least Canadian. I think it's for Canadian brewers, Ontario brewers, and retailers that can sell it.
Well, it's good. It's also pushing Canadian products, so that's another thing.
Which is fine, but it's to Ontarians anyways.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you can't legislate someone to price their products to a certain point and expect them to remain profitable.
I don't think that's why we're talking about Bucka beer.
But we're talking about Bucka beer
yeah.
on two levels. Listen, who's brought up the big stink about it? The brewers themselves, and not because they just look at it. No, they looked at it from...
I don't think that's the conversation, though.
But that was part of the conversation. It was to say, this moron thinks that we're gonna be able to stay in business. You're gonna bankrupt us with your mandate, your law, your rule. It can't happen.
So I'm looking at it from
space. But then you're talking about the social component. About, well, that's the one thing that's the critical piece on your mind that we have to drop the price on.
That's
right?
my point.
Okay,
that's what I want to talk about.
All right, do it.
I want to talk about your sister mentioned the whole diaper thing or whatnot. But why not help us with things like clearly a lot of the things today that we need cost a lot of money.
Right.
Why not look at some of these things and say, let's bring the prices down. Let's help the economy, but at the same time help the people. So like running on like a buck of beer. Okay, I know what he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is connect with the everyman. You know, Canadians are known to drink beer, and it's kind of like a social thing, and kind of like,
Right.
it should be affordable. You know, it's. I get the idea behind it, but who cares? Who cares? It's first off, it's alcohol. It's some sort of a drug. What's next? And I think I said it before. A buck a gram once it comes out.
Right? For a buck a joint.
But that's the thing. Like, is that what we're going into? I mean, this is what we're trying to pitch.
Yeah, but you want socialism?
How about medication? You know, like certain medications. Like, how about making Advil
You're a
affordable?
socialist? Are you a socialist?
I'm not a socialist, but I have some socialist ideals. So there are certain things
that runs contra to the Blue Party.
It's not at all. It's not at all. When I'm talking about socialism, I'm saying, what do you mean? We're still talking about free healthcare, right? I think everybody should be receiving free healthcare, but you should also have the right to have private if you choose to, and it should be offered to you.
So we should have a buck a doctor?
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
No.
Why not?
Do you know what you get for a buck?
No, but wait. So is the quality of the beer worse?
I don't know.
Or is it the same quality?
Do you think it would be the same?
I don't. Why not? Why wouldn't it be the same?
It costs too much. So if it costs too much to create and to,
You think it costs too much?
They
I don't think so.
they can make
a lot of money.
I read an article. I
Yeah.
want to say it's in the Star recently,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I read an article. They effectively priced out. There was a nice infographic on a can of beer.
Okay.
Okay. So a typical can of beer, whatever it is, 355 mils, whatever. The canning, like just to get the actual beer filled up with the can with the
Right.
label, it was something like 72 cents or something like that.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Let's go with like a can of Diet Coke, all right, or a can of Coke or whatever. How much you think that?
But we're talking about craft brewing. Hold on a second. No, they can't compete. We're not talking about big companies like Coca-Cola, okay, that have monopoly on
Right.
those things.
But
We're not talking
are they
and
getting some sort of tax break?
I'm sure
Are they getting help?
No, but
so there is cutting
no,
costs.
No. Listen, no. Look, at the end of the day, a lot of these micro and craft brewers were coming out and saying it's fiscally impossible and irresponsible to meet that price point because I will go bankrupt.
Fine, $2. That's not what the conversation's about, at least in my opinion. I don't think that we brought up this topic.
You're
based
talking
on
about
the
why
dollar.
not
I'm saying, like,
prioritize
who the hell
other
cares
elements?
about the beer, the buck of beer?
Nobody cares about
like
the
if
beer.
all of a sudden you said again, like, you know, I don't know, like 8 pills of Tylenol or whatever
Right.
would cost you $1 as opposed to like $6.
I'd want to know what's in the pill.
No, it's the same pill. Advil. How much money are they making off of
No,
this?
I know that
It's not
they
the same.
cost
There's
them
certain
pennies.
places
It
where
cost
I
them
can-
pennies.
th-
There's
when
that
you go to
guy. What's his
Costco-
name? Shkreli. The guy went to jail. He jacked up the price of a medicine. It was like overnight. It went from like $8 to something like $700. Arbitrarily raised the price.
What do you mean from $8 to $700?
I can't remember. Someone check me on this.
Okay.
I think his name was Martin Shkreli, something like that. He
I heard something like
big
this, but I'm not
he had a
sure.
big pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And I think it made something like I think it was maybe an MS drug or something.
Okay.
A critical medicine.
Right.
That he arbitrarily decided, as the CEO and whatever the company, overnight his product was already in the stores, on
Right.
the shelves, been in existence for a while. It was something like $7, $8 a pill, let's
Okay.
say, and he shot the price up overnight to $650, $700 for the one tablet or whatever it was. The same packaging.
Okay.
People were furious about this.
Of course they'll be furious.
Right? And so the guy actually went to jail now. He's been
Makes perfect
right?
sense.
Okay. So
Probably
in
killed
that
people because of it.
Right. So in that case,
Irresponsible people.
Right. And I'm with you on that.
Oh, for the sake of money.
But now
like,
you want to
it's-
come back and you want to say, at some point, we want to have, why not Bucka Daycare? Look, I love Bucka Daycare, but the reality is, you got to pay overhead, costs.
We're playing around with the buck a daycare.
It could be $10 a daycare. It could be $15 daycare.
But that's the thing. Like, why not have us save money on things that we actually care about or need, as opposed to beer? That's my point. I don't need a buck of anything, like a buck of diaper. Blah, blah.
Because
I don't need that. I'm saying, like, if you're already going to make some sort of a promise and to help us, do it with things that are relevant to everybody. And I don't think beer is one of those things that are really relevant. Like, I drink Diet Coke, right? And
So if you would have said bucket Diet Coke, you would have had him?
What do you mean?
You would have been cool with him?
No, absolutely not. That's my point. I don't care that's because who cares about Diet Coke?
So if you would have
It's not a
said
need.
the buck whatever.
No, things that are needed for, like, we're talking about diapers, right? Everybody's got kids at
Okay,
some
if he was
point,
on
right?
bucket diaper.
Bucket diaper. How much do diapers cost now? I have no
A
idea.
ridiculous amount.
Yeah, so bucket diaper. There you
Bucket
go.
diaper's too much. I'd like to pay less than a bucket diaper.
Okay, so now you're pushing it.
No, dude, I get a box.
Okay.
A box comes with on average about 100 diapers, 120 diapers.
You understand where I'm going with this, though,
35
right?
bucks.
You get where I'm
40
going with this, correct?
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, like, we can't be voting for him based on something stupid like that. Like a
Oh,
bucket
you mean
beer.
we can't vote for a candidate based on an absurd promise, like making a country great again?
Well, clearly you...
Because that would just be stupid, right? If we just voted for, like, absurd things, like, I'm going to build walls, I'm going to make bucket beer, I'm going to, like, yeah, it's just asinine that we would
Yeah.
vote for people like
How
that.
about change? Right, change you can believe in? Yeah, I believe that.
I didn't
Yeah.
say that he's any better.
No,
Fine,
but everybody.
What? Because it's
But
2017,
that's not
baby.
the
What was
point.
Trudeau's thing? Because it's 2016. Well, there's this thing.
I
Like, who
don't know.
cares?
I don't know.
Yeah, politicians make ridiculous promises.
Yeah, but then we see this, and we see this bucket beer thing. Yes, I know we have to change. We see this bucket beer thing.
Yeah.
And we're saying, like, really?
But we're talking about him, and maybe that's what he wants.
He wants us to be talking about him?
Yeah.
When did I
Doesn't.
say anything positive?
Doesn't
and
matter.
I am
Press
one
is
that
press.
voted.
Press is press.
You think?
Did you tell me you didn't vote blue?
What does that have to do with anything? I didn't vote on the beer, I can tell you that much.
Okay, not because of the beer, but it's the idea behind. He's saying, "Look, he said I'm going to drop
And yes,
gas
I
prices."
voted blue. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
so did.
Yeah. But gas prices affects
Actually, I didn't
all of
vote
us.
I didn't get. No, I didn't get there. There was a logistical problem, not because I didn't want to. I did. I should have done early polling, and I didn't. This year was a logistical issue. I admit. So I don't get a say, right? I didn't vote. I don't get a say.
No, you
I
get a
that.
say because
No,
you get to talk about it because
no,
you still
but
care about this country.
I do, but I admit that I actually was not able, and it was my birthday, and I was able to even logistically make it out to the poll.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I did.
the point is, the premier
Mm-hmm.
was voted based on promises, just like every other party.
I
was based on-
understand.
Kathleen Wynne promised $15 an hour minimum wage. That came into effect.
No, I understand.
So-
but can
so
we
now
say
you-
that certain? But did we not fight it? Did we not say it's absurd?
I don't think it's absurd.
Yeah, I think it's absurd.
I don't think it's
because
absurd.
right now, look. Okay, you know what? You brought the $15. Let's
Okay,
talk about
people
it very
need-
quickly.
People need. Okay.
Yeah,
go
but
ahead.
I work at a place where I do more than flipping a burger, and I make like a $15 an hour. So then when I go to work, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second.
Just a second.
They didn't lift. They didn't make it now $19
So
that I
wait,
make an
because
hour.
you.
Yeah,
because you
I'm
did
worth
something
more.
different. It's
I'm
worth
more, absolutely. Because why would I be here? I'll go
And
to another
get paid
place and
your
get more
worth.
hours.
But shouldn't there be a minimum? Shouldn't there be a floor that says, "Look, we value humans."
I understand, but the
To
problem
this
that's
threshold.
not how it works.
But that's
not-
the idea of the minimum
The
wage.
idea and the
That
way
is
the
literally
economy
the idea.
runs are two different ways.
But that's
if I wanna
literally
be,
the idea.
No, if I
The
want to, if
minimum.
I want to be idealistic about something, but you don't understand, it moves things along. It's
So does bucket beer promises.
no, but how can you compare bucket beer
They're the
to
same
this?
idea. It's the same ludicrous idea that a minimum wage will support our economy and sustain life as we know it. Is the same ludicrous promise that if we make beer
Really,
$1,
you're putting them in the same category.
but that's exactly what they are. They're
just merely a
ridiculous
campaign okay.
campaign promises. One came to fruition. One probably won't.
Which
And
one
even
won't?
if it does, well, $15 an hour is already in there. The bucket beer, okay, he's going to make it law. Whoopity-doo. Nobody's going to do it.
All right. Anyways, maybe for the next campaign, we got to talk about something that's more relevant to everybody.
Yeah.
Like gas was something that I really voted on.
Okay.
Because
And you know what? Now your gas cut's not coming for at least the fall.
I'm waiting for it.
And probably, I would even not be surprised if you roll into 2019.
But you know what? It's on its way.
And what's it going to be worth it?
I don't know.
The price will have gone up even more, so when he brings it back, it'll come to today's price. Is that a cut?
Well, you know what? In some ways it is because it's called inflation. And inflation
That's
things do
called
go up.
Greed.
Also, what?
That's
You want me to befriend the gas companies? No, of
Friends
course
with
not.
everybody else.
Yeah. I pay $100 every week for my car.
Slow down. Carpool.
Carpool.
Take a TTC.
I don't have 15 kids like you. All right, let's move on to the next part.
Take a bus.
Getting into your car is like going on a bus. All right. Why don't we get into the end of the show where we have the fun stuff because we're reaching 10 o'clock, so we have about 10 more minutes.
We are at 10 o'clock.
So today is Afghan Independence Day. So to all our Afghani fans out there, I know we don't have that
I think
many.
you lost the one that we had.
No, you know what? I actually, as a people, I like the people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm for, like, you know, if it's a person, it's a person.
How do we say Happy Afghan Day in Pashtuni? Or
I
whatever?
don't have any idea. Actually, you know that something interesting about Afghanistan, just because as a random fact, it's the only country in the world that has never lost a war, never.
It's hard to lose one when you're always fighting one.
No, but they've literally never, like, nobody was able to conquer it. Nobody has been able to go in and conquer it. Afghanistan has always been Afghanistan. You look at the entire world, somehow there have been changes, and you can look this up. Afghanistan is one of the only country that hasn't been able to taken over. So just a random fact. And really good Afghani food. I love Afghani food. It's delicious. It's becoming a lot more popular, by the way, in our area. I don't know if you noticed. No? You haven't? And they speak Russian. I have a friend who...
speak Russian.
They speak Russian.
They were conquered.
But they do. A lot of them speak Russian. And they
well,
share
when
a border.
Soviet troops move in and stick around for 20, 30
It doesn't
years.
matter.
Yeah, you're going to learn
the
the language.
So that's the thing. I had a friend that I met. I said, wow, you speak Russian so fluently. I'm like, why? He's like, you need to know the enemy's language.
That's right.
That's what he said. But
So?
there's a lot of other people who are not. And there are Russians that actually
What
live
language
there.
do you want to know, my friend? Talk about something good.
What? Did you lose it already? What is our competition for the day?
We were going to do this thing. So it's an ice cream day. So we talked about...
It's hard for us to come up with challenges that are relevant to the day. So why don't you guys do the research and tell us, what's coming up for next week?
Good call. Next week, you find out what day is going to be on Sunday, International whatever day. And keep in mind, we're limited with space.
Yeah, we can't move. So it's literally
like
sitting
it's
down.
a sitting down thing.
And doing it. Yeah.
If we need to pre-film ourselves, I guess, theoretically, but that wouldn't play well on the
like
live.
arm wrestling or something like that?
Anyway, we want to stay on frame, right? Mm-hmm. But you find out and give us something to do. Give an idea. We may not.
So should we not even do the challenge? I just feel like it's a stupid challenge. No?
Now they want to know what it is.
Okay, you tell them what it is.
So I thought it's ice cream day. I thought if we can take we think about ice cream, at least around here, we think about Baskin Robbins probably, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd just name as many flavors as we could, like in 31 seconds, or could we name all 31 flavors?
There's no way I could name all 31.
Yeah, there's no way. But
so rather than a challenge, why don't we just try to see if we can name 31 different flavors? Meaning just take and do 31 different flavors. You think you could name 31 flavors?
Come pretty
together.
close.
Between us.
Between us. This is a joint effort. It's a collaboration.
That's what I just said. I think I used the word together. No?
No.
I didn't?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn I did. Maybe. Right, we'll just go back. All right, how about we try like different flavors? So let's go. How many we got? So vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. Right. These are the regular. Okay. So you said, you had an interesting fact before when we started.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the most popular flavor?
True that. According to some research, there's competing evidence, but it is based on America.
Notice we moved away from the competition and right into the information.
Just to this. But the idea of what the most popular flavor is.
It's surprisingly...
Yeah,
now, it's my sister's favorite, but I literally say no when she offers.
So just wait and see if anyone writes it?
Oh, I don't know. Probably your sister would be the only one. So, guys, what do you think, without Googling, Yahooing, or Binging it...
Yeah, don't Bing it.
Why don't you tell us what you think is the most popular flavor?
So there's chocolate,
I said vanilla,
strawberry.
So I thought vanilla would be...
Yeah, and I knew that it's chocolate. It's not chocolate. I told you. I said you would think. She's not technically correct. She's partially correct.
Partially, but she's in the right place.
Yeah,
so
it is. So
it is mint. Mint.
There it is.
There you go.
Wifey's the winner.
Yeah, your wifey probably did it with you.
No.
Dude, Terry, tell us the truth.
Are you calling my wife a cheater? Are you implying that she cheats at competition? Buddy.
I'm going to be like my dog.
Buddy. You know what? Listen. It's your funeral. It was nice working with you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
We're hiring new co-hosts because he's the dead man after this show.
I love you, Terry. Good job, Terry.
Yes. Mint chocolate chip.
I did not know this.
Right?
I still don't believe it.
But here's the thing. What was interesting on the article was that vanilla is the most sold. In terms of retail sales, vanilla gets sold the most. Then,
Well, why? Because it's a part of other ice cream too. Like if you have a banana split,
no. I
so
think
you're already automatically you're getting vanilla.
just
I
sales.
love vanilla. It's
But it's not the most popular.
Yeah.
It's not the most popular. My wife remembers random facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. I see. Wait, you don't trust your wife now? Because you just said yeah, right. Was that a random fact?
What are you, conspiracy theory?
I'm not.
This is a conspiracy
I'm not
theory.
trying- I'm not
I like
trying
how
to
you're
get-
tying this all in.
I'm not
Claudia
trying
says
to get-
vanilla is awesome. Claudia, you are so wrong.
Vani-
It is disgusting.
I love-
It's
I-
vanilla.
you
It's
could
plain.
never go
Literally,
wrong.
it's used as an expression. That's so vanilla. That's so blah. There's nothing to it.
No, I love it. I love it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got a nice taste to it, but it's
so what do you mean?
vanilla.
So what do you mean? Don't get me wrong. So if
No,
it has a good
listen,
taste to it,
it's
then
not.
it's great.
It's not awesome. Sunglass cool emoji.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't think so.
I've never had vanilla. And I go,
Anyway,
yeah.
so look, I don't think we're gonna
Because
do the
they're
challenge.
they're different chocolates. They're different strawberries.
So we got chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. That's all we got. Mint
These are the
chocolate
main
chip.
three that I would think about.
Then we got rainbow sherbet,
What?
and we got orange sherbet, and we've got
Sorbet.
sherbet. They're actually called sherbet.
Sherbet.
If you go
So
to
why did I
Baskin
call?
Robbins.
Why did I call it sorbet? Sorbet. Where did I come up with this? Why would I know that what it's called when I don't?
There is
have
a sorbet. It's
Right.
a different type. That's not ice cream.
Oh, so it's called. Oh. Why did we have an alarm for this? This
I
part
don't know.
didn't
It was
even
part
have
of
it.
the timer. Just I don't know.
Okay. So there's no challenge today.
We're challenged.
Why
by
don't
a
we?
challenge.
Why don't we just tell them what's coming up next? Meaning, like in the next little while. So we're kind of working now with.
Do we want to talk about the?
Do we not? What do you think? We never discussed whether talking about it or not. Should we tell? Well, people know we're going to the Fan Expo.
Yeah.
So we are going to be going to the Fan Expo. We're going to be doing something pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's
we
gonna be
still don't.
filmed.
We still don't have any idea.
No, but we're so that will be a taped piece that
Right.
will taped.
Is that our first?
It's our
Aside
first
from
remote.
the extra stuff.
Yeah, it's a little hot in here today.
It is very hot. Actually, I was sweating the whole time.
It's going to be a remote piece, as they say in the biz.
Right. They don't, but okay.
Don't they?
No.
They should.
No, they don't.
Okay, you told
Okay.
me to say it.
I never said that.
Passion fruit sorbet, huh? Claudia. I don't know Claudia, but Claudia's got some interesting.
I like passion fruit. It's very
You go
delicious.
from vanilla to passion fruit. Like,
Passion fruit's amazing. When I go to Dominican Republic, I literally have to have my meal and then have
how often
passion
do you
fruit.
go?
I used to go once a year.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't been this year. I really want to go. I need a vacation.
I need a vacation.
I need a real big vacation.
Okay.
You have a vacation every
Coming
day?
up, so we'll be filming at Fan Expo.
Yep.
It's going to be really interesting.
We hope. We hope. We're trying to
we'll do a little something
our
different.
best to be prickly because none of us. We haven't been. We've never been to the Fan Expo
ever. It's the thing where people dress up with the costumes. And
Right.
The,
So it's kind of like the Comic Con, our
It's the
version.
Canadian Comic-Con.
No, but there is a Canadian Comic Con, but they also have Fan Expo.
Okay, I thought this.
No, there is a Canadian Comic Con, but the one that everybody knows is in San Diego.
Yeah.
But the point is, we're going to go and we're going to see, we're going to participate. And I think it's going to be fun because we have a special guest that's going to be joining us.
Don't tell them.
I won't tell him because you don't want me to, so I won't.
You want
But
to.
it is, of course I want to.
It's a really big deal.
Some people know because they're friends with me on Facebook that we have, somebody that's joining our team in some ways. But,
Right.
But yes, it is a big deal.
Huge.
And we're going to have an amazing time with he or she.
Yeah.
See how I kind of took it off?
Yeah.
And at the same time, what else are we doing? We're considering going to TIFF and doing something at TIFF. For those, tell them what TIFF
The
is.
Toronto International Film Festival.
Do it with your British accent the way you usually
The
do it.
Toronto International Film Festival.
That's right. So we're going to be going there also, and hopefully, we'll try to entertain you. But if you have any ideas,
Maybe we'll screen a movie.
what movie are we going to screen?
We should screen your movie.
Which movie? Oh, the mental health one that's not
Living
being
in
done
Darkness.
at this moment in time due to whatever.
We could
reasons.
screen this.
We could screen this. But we're planning on having fun. Guys, we want you to engage with us.
Yeah.
What's happening is the two of us are trying to come up with subjects. Thank you to Zach, for throwing in an idea. Simona, I know you're very involved. Give us some ideas. Just don't have us get fat. And I'm going to end off on that note. I have decided for myself, and I told you about it yesterday, so there's no real warning. I have decided for myself that after Labor Day weekend, I will go on that specific diet we talked about.
You talked about it.
Right. I'm trying to convince you, and I already got your wife to be on board.
Yeah.
Because she wants to do it.
Right.
So I think as a great husband and someone who wants to be there for their children, for a very, very long time because, you know, he wants to be healthy. And I think that we should do this together and turn it into somewhat of a challenge. Either first person to lose 20 pounds, first person to look slimmer. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But the idea behind
camera add 10 pounds?
This camera adds 50 pounds for some reason. I don't know why. But the idea is for us to really get healthy. And we're doing it the opposite. Because usually people want a summer bod. And we're trying to get a winter bod. Right? So we're like trying to get ourselves ready for the winter.
You want to look good in that sweater.
I do. It's called chest hair. So on that note, we want to thank you very much for tuning in today to the Prickly Pear Show.
As always, we want to thank you for watching.
Yes, we do need to make some changes to the list. I agree.
Oh.
We're going to be adding a little bit of maybe brown rice to it as our only carb, you know, just so you don't feel like...
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, well, did you not see the diet? Did you not see what's in it?
Again,
no sugar, no nothing?
I don't pay attention
No.
to what you...
I don't know. I saw my relatives today who live in Los Angeles, who I love, and I'm saying hello if they ever watch the show. It was actually my cousin's birthday, Mazel Tov, and they just lost like maybe, I don't know, 70 pounds together. And,
Wow.
and they did this as a team, and they just look wonderful. And I'm like,
great.
I want to look wonderful.
You do look wonderful.
I don't look wonderful. I want to get to be more wonderful. And I want you to be more wonderful with me. So we're not going to be the two big guys on screen. We're going to be the two semi-big guys on the screen.
Big guys.
Semi-truck.
I'm okay with it. Listen, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Semi-truck.
Let's figure it
You're
out.
good? We're going to try something?
We'll try something.
I appreciate it. Thank you for doing it after Labor Day because I plan on eating a lot on Labor Day. Labor Day weekend. So anyways, on behalf of Ellie and myself, please tune in at the Prickly Pear. What did you drop?
Drop the bottle.
Drop the bottle. At the Prickly Pear Show.
Pears and two of us.
That's right. We have a Twitter account.
You can follow us there. Instagram.
Like us.
Like us.
You know,
Love
soon
us.
we're going to be broadcasting off of YouTube also. And we're going to be putting all the shows that we've done thus far on YouTube for people to watch.
Yeah.
And there's more surprises that are coming. We're slowly developing. We're turning this into something. And we appreciate the fact that you guys are tuning in.
Yeah.
So, Ellie, anything else to finish off with?
Listen, you know what? Just a big thank you to our audience that continues to grow. Thank you to everyone tuning in from overseas and all around the world. We're getting global, buddy. It's happening.
Yeah, we're getting to Israel because that's where our family is.
Whatever.
If we had someone from Afghanistan and say, thank you very much for wishing us the best, then I believe that...
Do you think they talk like that?
I don't know.
Hashtag Afghani.
I can't even do a Canadian accent.
We'll do the accent challenge another day.
Of course you will.
I
because
will
that's
smoke you in that one.
Yes, you will, and I'm saying it right now. You will smoke me.
I will.
But we'll do the Muppets challenge, and I will smoke you. You can pick any type of Muppet, and I will do it for you. I will do the impression. All right? You want to do cartoon voices? That is me. Pathetic.
I also want to say our apologies to Drake. Sorry we didn't have time for you. But
again, he didn't show up?
Yeah, I know.
Talk to his agent. Give him a call.
Kiki don't love you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to stand here and look straight into the camera.